What is the need in our community, specifically for those that are lower income? And what are some of the challenges that developers face? And then how do we really make this a city where everyone wants to live and can live? And so the housing plan really addresses those three things. The first is, how do we create more housing types? How do we create an environment in which cottages can be built, or duplexes, or single family attached homes, so we have condos. It's not all single family or high density, it's a wide variety. The second piece of the plan really addresses affordability. So if we could get more housing types and get a wide variety, how do we make it affordable? How do we really allow people who work in this city to live here? And that goes to, folks that are making $20,000 a year, $35,000, who could never afford to live here, but certainly commute and work here. And of course, that affects air quality as well, right? If you're having to drive in and drive out of the city every day, then you're adding to our pollution problem. And then the last is really about equitability and opportunity. So regardless of where you live in the city, let's make sure you have opportunity, and let's make sure you have access to live where you want to live. Why this matters and why the city is getting involved is because the market can't take care of it, right? So the market has not been, the market doesn't think about how to create a robust and healthy and diverse economy, right? It thinks about return on investment only. So the city plays a role in making sure that the things that we love about Salt Lake City, its diversity and its vibrancy and feet on the street, is where we drive our sort of role in both housing and other facets of our community. And so what that ends up helping in neighborhoods and et cetera is that when you have a family or a single person that cannot afford their rent, that means every single thing they do from day to day is focused on how to pay the rent. So they're not thinking about how to be a good neighborhood watch person. They're not focused on getting their kids' homework done because they want to make sure that first and foremost there's food in the fridge and a roof over their heads. And so when we can create a stable environment for people to live in, then they can give back to our communities the way that they want to. And at the end of it all, if they're only paying a reasonable amount in rent, their money goes back into our economy. And so it really is the key factor in helping all of the other parts work together. So I think one of the things that we have already launched is a community land trust. And so what that means for the community is that certain parcels of land in your neighborhood or somebody else's are going to be committed to affordability in perpetuity, which means whatever's built on that piece of land is going to be affordable. That's a real pillar of preservation for our community. Another thing the community is going to see is a real effort to identify a long-term funding source for affordability. The reason we don't have affordable units is because we don't have enough resources to leverage to build them. And so another piece is going to be through a legislative ask or through community ask is really going to be around providing a long-term funding source to build ongoing affordability so we don't end up in a crisis again. And then I think where the community will also see our housing plan in action is on parcels like the Barnes Bank building, which we've just launched, where there's the exchange. And here we're really producing innovation, and we're driving the market through creating new types of units. Micro units are going to be there, very small, livable units geared towards efficiency of space. Within it, we're going to have a food court that's committed to our immigrant community through collaboration with IRC's Spice Kitchen. And so you're going to see a lot of innovative use that ties to the housing plan and creating a space and opportunity for everyone. So for anybody who's interested in what we're doing or wants to be involved, they should certainly visit the Housing and Neighborhood Development website at slcgov.com/hand.